Oh, it appears that we're actually on time this time for a stream that I was planning to not really have a set time. Funny how that works. Well, everything seems to be good. It's in the morning for me, but I've been up for a while. Who knows for how much longer, but it's kind of in the mood to play some more Final Fantasy XIV. Decided, hey, why not stream it? Might give me some more incentive, so hopefully it's enjoyable for you guys to watch. Should I guess it might be helpful to explain like what exactly is going on in the story and who my character is, since I don't really I like MMOs oddly enough, but I don't play very many of them. I'm also not a very social person, which is kind of the point of an MMO. But I've only ever really played this, which I have not even completed. I played a bit of the Star Wars one, but I don't think I've finished it out. That one's actually pretty enjoyable with how your characters have a lot of personality to them. Even if it's pre-chosen, but you still get choices. And really that's about it. I guess I mostly just enjoy the RPG aspects of the MMORPGs. But for this one specifically, it's very story driven, and honestly it's a pretty enjoyable story once it starts kicking off. Of course, story-wise, it's been a while since I played, so I'm not even fully sure what's going on at the moment. So, I guess I'll explain the story for people that want to, like, hop in or watch this VOD later without any real context as to anything that's going on. So, spoilers in advance. So, the base story is essentially you're some adventurer who comes to town, gets up to some shenanigans before you're eventually recruited to this essentially secret society that's meant to essentially be the bridge between the various city-states and try to foster a better world. Is there a cool map I can look over? Maybe? World map. So this is kind of like a map of the world, but we mostly just focus on this little area here. So you have like the three main city-states, if I can remember them. Limsa, Limenza, which is sort of like a pirate, or well, it was a pirate nation, but sort of reformed, but very sailor-based, a lot of coastal cities or villages. Really fun place, honestly. My first character I had was on there. Of course, I ended up switching over to this character later on, mostly because that character I was playing with friends, but yeah. Anyways, still haven't completed the full expansions. Then you have the second city-state, Ul'dah, which is essentially like a mercantile city-state out in the middle of the desert. Has a royalty, also some sort of nobles. It's more or less like the default city-state, but it's kind of a fun place. And I mean, not so fun like lore-wise, but player-wise. Where is it? It's been forever. My brain's all scattered. There's a third city-state. Oh. Hold on. No, that's not it. Oh, wait. Here we are. And New Gridania. So essentially, the three main city-states, they've essentially allied themselves together because this big evil empire, essentially, that has conquered much of the old land over here, has come over to try to set up shop here. And those city-states essentially banded together to kick them out. Funnily enough, they ended up remaking this game, but they added that into the lore of when they destroyed the servers of the first game. So essentially, stuff was already going down there. They did a wipe, which meant also kind of wiping the world, and that was part of the lore. Where was I going with my explanation of the story? I got so distracted here. Right, so essentially you come to one of these city-states as, like, generic adventurer. You do a bunch of quests. Eventually you get noticed and get added to this secret society, which really isn't all that secret, but they like to pretend they are. And their whole duty is essentially being a bridge between the various nations of whatever continent this is. I cannot remember. I can't read that. Eorzea. That was the name. It's essentially the bridge between Eorzea, trying to make sure the various city-states get along and take care of problems that the city-states would not really band together to take care of. Or mostly for taking down primals. Primals essentially being elemental beings that various creatures worship, which grants them a whole bunch of power, but they're almost inherently evil and pretty much attempt to convert everyone to a follower to damn their souls and then go about destroying the world. So, kind of need to put a stop to that. Turns out your character has a special gift called the Echo, which occasionally lets you see essentially lets you see the past. Not more the past, I mean like a few hours ago, but it's from someone else's perspective, which is pretty fun. It also has some other side effect of making it to where when these primals are summoned and attacking, they can't damn your soul, and thus you're safe. Also, there's this giant crystal who seems to be speaking to you, and you're actually one of these champions of light. Yeah, my memory of the story is all sorts of fuzzy, so... If you want the full gist of it, just either play the game yourself or watch someone, because... unless there's a way for me to play previous cutscenes, then maybe that might be a fun way of doing things. Not where I'm at, though. I've already checked the menus, and that's not really a thing, but maybe at, like, a inn. Yeah. So you're killing these primals, but it turns out that the evil empire is working together with this essentially ancient civilization that was thought dead, that essentially went into all kinds of bad magic juju. But there's basically the guy that's leading the invasion over here in Eorzea has allied himself with one of these ancient bad guys. And essentially, the ancient bad guy is trying to revive a bunch... They're trying to revive a bunch of the primals in order to gain some of their energy to power this device from a different race of ancients, which I ended up confusing the two quite a bit in my head. That apparently is supposed to take the power of the primals. So even though you're killing the primals and you kind of have to, it is unfortunately giving them all sorts of power. So near the end, you convince the other city-states to team up and launch an invasion to basically kick them out of the continent, or at least do a lot of damage to prevent any further excursions for the time being. You assault their base. He manages to have his like weapon, which is supposed to mimic a primal by taking their powers, but you manage to bring that down. Everything's good and happy. Your secret society decides to become less secret and essentially form up in this city-state that's not really a city-state, and it's kind of run by all sorts of mercenaries and adventurers, but they hole up there. Then it turns out the merchants from that one mercantile city-state, Ul'dah, basically overthrow and kill the monarchy so they can put in their own despoty. Is that the right word? Basically, it's not like a people's revolution. It's more of like, no, we want power now. They're doing it for money. But basically, they launched that. Turns out they had people within your reform society that then kick you out and kill all of your allies. And then you decide to go out to one of the, essentially the fourth city-state. The issue is that they're not part of the alliance because they mostly keep them to themselves because they're too busy being religious fanatics who kill dragons. And basically, Heavensward starts with all your friends missing. You've been kicked out of the Cool Club, and you're basically seeking refuge here in order to rebuild your base of power and try to, I guess, oust the people that put you in this position, but also trying to figure out what's going on with the... Right, because there's a whole dragon war going on. So every now and then the dragons like to invade this fourth city-state. What's it called? Is it called Foundation? That doesn't seem right. I'm sure I'll figure out the name some other time. But basically every now and then they invade, and this is like one of the times. Huge dragon war. Issue being that while you were investigating things up here before things went to shit, you essentially lost your hero of light status by this ancient dragon who's like, yeah, I'm going to revoke your power. But now that things have kind of been going on, it's been slowly building up. So, very poorly explained, but hopefully that kind of gives you an idea of what's been going on. The story is a lot better than how I've explained it, but my mind is so fuzzy on the details. But I guess let's actually play. Are we doing side quests? May as well. Doesn't hurt to pick them up. Okay. Trying to get you a good look of where things are going on. I don't know where I'm at. Like I said, it's been a while since I last played, and I have no idea what's going on at the moment. I'm sure I'll catch up eventually. Chocobo hunting isn't as easy as it looks. Those birds are too clever by half. I've designed some new traps, though, that I set up around Tailfeather a few days ago. Might be about time to check them. Think you could do that for me? There are two of them, one upstream of Wilhelm River and one out to the east of Tailfeather. All you really need to do is head out there to see if they've caught anything. Why would you hunt chocobos? Blue quest? This is important for something. Well, paint me yellow and call me a chocobo. That's Milith's sightseeing log you got there. I guess so. Forgive me, I got carried away for a moment. I am Kester Ironheart, cousin to Milith and explorer of sorts, like most of my extended family. When I last spoke with Milith, she told me of an adventure with a keen cause of wanderlust, an adventure that I know now to be you. What say you lend me your log for a moment? Don't worry, I won't eat it or anything. And I'm worried you are, because who would even suggest that you would eat it? There, and yes, there. That should do it, I reckon. It's no secret that Ishgard is home to some of the most remarkable sights in our realm. Mind you, I've not seen them all myself, but I certainly know where they might be found, and now so do you. thanks to the notes and rumors I've seen fit to jot down in your sightseeing log. Yes, scores of stunning visas are just waiting to be discovered. Your legs will not carry you to all of them, though. Should you find a particular spot out of reach, you might consider taking to the spy atop a black-feathered bird. Oh ho! But if I were to say more, I would be robbing you of the joy of discovering these spectacular views for yourself. Godspeed, my fellow explorer. May this moment mark the beginning of a tour of wonder. Oh, cool. I don't think I've messed with the sightseeing log at all. Neat. Already attuned to the aetherite here? Oh, I have. Oh, I didn't even explain my character. Not much to really talk about. Good old Joya Sunrise. Vera. Which basically means he's like a bunny. In case you couldn't tell by the ears. Unfortunately, it does make wearing hats suck, because it doesn't show. Basically, there's a bunch of base races. This was added in one of the latest expansions, and I decided to switch over to it, because, why not? I like bunnies. Unfortunately, most of the new people don't have appropriate headgear, whereas the base races do. So you end up in a situation where you just can't wear a helmet. Yeah, I had a cool little story for him if anyone's interested in hearing, but I won't bore you too much. But basically, he's kind of an edgelord at the moment. His whole deal was he's supposed to be like the anti-edgelord. And he's named Joya Sunrise. He's a very happy, outgoing person who became a rogue, then later ninja. But I figured after the first expansion he'd be a bit frustrated, and that led him into becoming a Dark Knight, which I currently am. If you don't know the game too well, Dark Knight is basically one of the tank classes. Basically, I take damage and I take damage and get the enemies to focus hitting me so the other people can do the damage. I think the reasoning why I switched over is because, obviously as a DPS, it's a lot harder to get into like dungeons and raids, or instances, or whatever they're called. But as a tank or even a healer, it's a lot easier. Bit of a shame, since DPS can be fun, I found out. A lot of dodging. Very involved. But I'm starting to get the hang of being a tank, although it's definitely interesting. I think Dark Knight's one of the weaker tanks, unfortunately. Anyways. Back to picking up quests and actually playing the game. If it isn't the famed Joya everyone's been going on about. Word travels fast in a camp this small. Say, could you lend me your ear for a bit? Thanks for keeping this lonely hunter company. Any road, since you're new around here, I thought you might want to know about this place and its denizens. You see, the hunters of Tailfeather make their way by catching the wild chocobos wandering around these forests and selling them to renowned Ishgardian trainers. You might think us hunters have the easy end of the deal, but you'd change your mind quick enough the first time a dragon breathes down your neck. Add to it that all the other hungry beasts looking for an easy meal, and you'd be right to doubt the sanity of this whole camp. And I'm starting to. Of course, you can't forget those that are just here for a quick bucket full of gil, chasing the golden chocobo, so to speak. The promise of riches brings new blood from all over Eorzea. Oh, shoot, I have it on auto. Whoops. You got that right. I'm here to bag myself the biggest chocobo Eorzea's ever seen. Stop! I like text auto advance when the cutscenes are voiced. Or not like this. Yeah. Thing is, chocobo hunting's generally done in pairs. I'm gonna butcher this name. Kuyanta here have never trapped an animal herself is in need of a partner. I know you've got some experience hunting all manner of beasts, so I'm asking you to help her out until I find someone suitable. Yeah, sure, may as well. Can't thank you enough, Shoya. Gyanta's got some ideas for her first hunt. Speak to her and she'll tell you all about them. So, you might have caught it, but Joya Sunrise is named that way because he was originally Makoto? Is that... I forget what the proper name is, but basically one of the cat people. But then I switched him over to Rabbit, but he was originally cat. But I have it as part of his, like, OC backstory that he was essentially raised in an orphanage by kind, caring cat people. So he took after their naming. They essentially named him, which is why he has that naming now. I also gave him these little cat whisker tattoo thing. Just to remind him of his past. I find it adorable. Finally, a partner. Now we can be real hunters. Let's not keep those birds waiting. This hunt will be simple. All I have to do is lure a chocobo out there with these Geisel greens. There's only one problem. Wild chocobos have a keen sense of smell and won't come near a trap if they catch even a whiff of a hunter's scent. But fret not, for I have a plan. Just the other day I came across some mushrooms whose reek I can still smell. If we use them to hide our scent, those chocobos will be none the wiser. And will smell like awful mushrooms. Good plan, good plan. I'll take care of arranging the Geisel greens for the trap, and I need my partner, that's you, to go and pick that pungent fungus for me. Is it pungent? Or pungent? Pungent fungus. Words are hard to string together sometimes. It seems the hunters call the mushroom Chandler's Wick, and about 5 or so should do the trick. Just head out east of Tailfeather for a bit and use your nose to guide you the rest of the way. I do like how much I like... All these quests have a bit of a story going around, especially with the stuff going on. Got a bunch of markers to go to now. Fun times. Am I still... Yeah, we're still good. Ooh, sorry, I'm just a bit tired. It's only gonna get worse, I'm afraid. Oh, poor chocobo. That one. Huh. My character doesn't look too bad at the moment. Was I doing anything specifically? Okay, we're just gonna go a simple path, go up, down and around and up. And luckily we have a mount to make this easier. Say hello to Dawnbreak. Good old light beams. Kind of went with light beams because I was doing a lot of this in the early morning, which is why I'm streaming early morning here. It's thematic. Trap's not been sprung, but neither do you see any bait. Rough. You know, the music out here is pretty good, but I like going fast. And of course, I have a bunch of these other mounts. I haven't named this one yet, though. But that one's named Dawnbreak. Maybe I should name this one something similar. I like naming themes, you know. We'll go with some sort of light pun. Well, he's a black chocobo, so I might go with Nightbringer something. Where did I get Nightbringer from? That's from something. Oh, well, not important. Things are going well enough. Been running into a bit of trouble with those giant bugs in these woods, though. Why am I talking to these people? That's for a quest I accepted earlier. What's the champ has not heard from his 3 chocobo camps for a while. Okay. Oh, that gives me Aether Current. Right, because at the end of the base game, I unlocked the ability to fly, but in these new areas, I have to re-unlock the ability to fly. Normally I would be able to, but yeah. Unfortunate. But we'll get there. Flying's just fun. Okay, I'm paying more attention to the map and not as much to the environment here. Oh, but maybe enough. Good old Chandler's Wick mushrooms. Keep with Dawnbreak until it comes to a good name. Ah! Nope, can't make it up there. Okay, yeah, I have to pick the mushrooms in those areas, so I'll have to find a way up. Pretty nice area. Oh. Huh. I don't know, what would you even describe this as? It's almost like it's not quite a jungle, I would say, but definitely got that humid feeling. It's almost like a swamp, but there's no water. And then you have this volcano-looking thing. Assuming that's a volcano. Oh, there's some up there. Up and around we go. Well, I'd rather not get in combat. That is just a waste of time at the moment. Yeah, we'll just... there's not much luck I can do here. Okay, cool. Didn't aggro. It's not that they can kill me, but it's more just a bit of a time waste to have to hop off my chocobo and kill them. Especially since, well, I mean, I do damage, all the classes do damage, but I don't do as much damage. And you get interrupted like that, so now we're gonna do our basic stuff. I could probably tell you what all these abilities do, but there's a lot to explain, and I kind of went over them earlier just to make sure I got them all. You want to get out of those, typically. Alright, I have a ranged attack. Not much to really say here. I'm still kind of, I'd say waking up, but I've been awake, so. Let's finish gathering these mushrooms. Basically, I have this whole hotbar full of abilities that I've set up in a way. I guess I'll go over them as I'm running to the next area. Sorry, I'm just not used to multitasking like this. Ow. Fall damage. As long as we don't get into a battle, it'll would have regened. As long as they don't hit us, we'll keep running. Basically, you'll level up in your, just in general or in your class, you'll unlock new abilities. The first three I have on here are essentially a combo. You do one after the other, and the next one will do more attack, or more damage versus if you just did the second or third one independently. Essentially, my Siphon Strike does more damage if I did a hard slash before it. And my Soul Eater does more damage if I do a Siphon Strike before that. And that one also restores a bit of HP because, well, I'm playing a tank class, so you gotta get that HP in somehow. Nothing out of the ordinary here. There's just the one bird that won't shut up. Haven't been able to catch a wink for all of its bloody screeching. Cool. Fourth ability here. Oh, that's an AoE around me. Oh, I can do that one independently so you can see it. 5 is a range damage, which also range attack that also increases enmity. Enmity. Basically, that's the monster's aggroing on you. So if a monster isn't aggroing you on as much, you can do that to do a bit of damage and also get it to aggro. Where am I headed? Up further ahead. I guess I may as well walk and listen to music. 6 here. I think that's a new one I unlocked. Plunge. Do a jumping attack. So I guess it essentially launches me closer in case I wanted to get into melee earlier. There's some X's on some of these abilities, meaning I can't use them because I'm not close enough. But it was that one, that would get me in close enough. 7, that's... Oh, essentially, it's similar to my AoE, except it sticks around for a while. The issue is it's long cast time, so you typically don't want to just chuck it down whenever. You usually want to use that when you're got a group of enemies around you. Which, since you're the tank and drawing aggro, should be relatively easy to do. Honestly, a lot of the dungeons and raids I've noticed, everyone follows the tank's lead, because why wouldn't you? The main issue being that I'm rather new to being a tank, and sometimes a lot of the older people that have gone through these raids and dungeons a million times will often just run through regardless of what I'm trying to do. Looks like there's something going on ahead. Looks like that's main quest territory. So, we'll get to that in a bit. I don't remember much of the main quest anyways. Let's see. And then I have these kind of separate because they do different effects that aren't quite tanky but are similar-ish. How do we get up here? I just walk around. Huh. Yeah, Dark Mine reduces my magic vulnerability for a bit, for 10 seconds, so don't want to just blast that whenever, just use it when they start using magic. Shirk diverts 25% of enemies to target party member, so basically if you're with another tank, you can get some of the enemies to start focusing aggro more on them versus you. Gives you a chance to heal up, essentially. I've never used it. Living Dead, which is a really weird effect, and I guess they ended up changing it, so I'm a bit confused on how it's supposed to work. Hold on. Had ourselves a bit of an incident the other day. Some fiend came stomping out of the tree line and gobbled up one of our fresh-caught birds. Was there a damn thing we could do about it? Going to keep on this area? We'll need some extra hands. You tell the chief that. Cool. Living Dead. Essentially, if I have this active, I activate it, it stays active for 10 seconds. During that 10 seconds, if I would have been killed, I can instead stay at 1 HP, and this switches to Walking Dead. Which essentially, while that's active, I can't be killed, my HP can't be reduced below 1, so I stay alive a lot longer than I am. However, if an amount of HP equaling my maximum health isn't restored before then I just drop dead. However, if I manage to get healed my full max HP, whether I'm at it or not currently, then it switches to Undead Rebirth, which basically means that I no longer just drop dead and I can instead stay alive. It looks like it also restores HP whenever I land an attack or cast a spell. I forget what it was originally supposed to be, but it was basically an ability that you never used because you would just die outright. But it's definitely a weird tanking ability considering the best time to use it is when you're dying. But then again, if it's restoring HP, it may not be terrible if you're not at that state. It's also got a long recast time, so it's not something you just drop willy-nilly. I don't know. I might have to play with that a bit more, but especially if it restores HP when you're using it. That way, I guess it's not just, oh, I'm about to die, I better cast a spell. Because let's be honest, if you're the tank and you're about to die, something's gone wrong. And all the other tank classes don't have this ability, they have something else. Which is what kind of makes Dark Knight a weaker tank from what I've figured out. Anyways, let's get a move on, and I can explain the top bar a bit later. This red glowy thing is the enmity, or aggro. Basically, I can activate Grit, which, whenever it's active, it means I automatically pull more aggro than everyone else. If that's not active, then I'm pulling the same aggro as everyone else, which is not something you want as a tank, because then all the other guys are taking damage and you're not. So always have that on when you're tanking. I should probably not fall on it because I'm going to lose some HP. Alright, let's see what's going on here. Whoa, just some guys. Using my targets a bit better here. Plunge. Oh, that's that up. Neat. A lot of this is me getting used to the combat again. I guess I'll explain the top bar a bit more. So, I have this little meter called the, just call it the darkness meter. It's basically your edgelord thing when you're doing your edgelord abilities. While it's active, you're dealing more damage, basically, and have a whole bunch of other bonuses. On there. Oh, that's an Aether Current. I need those. Yeah, basically, when that's active, you're dealing more damage for stuff overall, so you always want that active. Cool. Where do I look at Aether Log? Oh, Aether Currents, here we are. From the Dravanian Forelands. Okay. 2 more to find and 5 more from quests. Cool. So basically, these 2 abilities up here, essentially whenever I cast them, it activates the darkness meter. So typically you want to cycle those, but honestly you can pretty much just spam them because it'll keep your meter up regardless by the time they come back on to be able to be used again. Explain a bit more later. Oh. Basically, to cast those, it requires actual mana, which you do have at the bottom here. And you use quite a bit to use those abilities. But your mana will slowly restore over time, so you're pretty much good to spam it. Especially since out of combat, it'll come back later. See, I'm completely out of mana, so I can't keep spamming that, but keep that on at least. I typically want to spam it because it does more damage. Potency of 300. I guess the combo technically does more damage overall. Huh. Oh, right, that's the thing, is I can sort of interweave it in between. been a while. I just did combat, I should know this. Trap has not been sprung, but neither do you see any bait. Neat. Chocobo are eating the food and getting away with it. And then there's one more thing over here. I have low blow, 25 seconds, but so I can kind of spam it. Or basically I want to keep using it, but it's not something I can just constantly spam. It stuns the target. So if they're doing something, it stops that, it briefly knocks them down, and it basically allows you to get around behind them. I don't really have any abilities that do more damage from behind the enemy, though, so that doesn't matter too much. Where am I going? Okay, I kind of want to keep doing that just to give a break. Some enemies are immune to being stunned, so it's not like a guarantee thing, but it does a bit of extra damage. No, it doesn't. Oh, you're just fucked in that road. Hop off. Yeah, see, I can just interweave it in between. So it's extra damage. So most battles are essentially me just surrendering 1, 2, 3, control 1, control 2. Occasionally control 3. This first ability here is single target, whereas this one does it in a line. But you typically want to hit more than 3 enemies with this one. Otherwise, you're better off just doing the first one here. Oh, there's something further along here. Interesting. Maybe I want to head over to this Aether here, just so I can teleport back and forth. That seems smart. Although the main quest is in the way, so hard to say what the right call is. We'll stop on the main quest. See what's going on here. Interesting. Destination. Ooh, cutscene. Oh. Us traveling with these people? Oh, I thought this isn't voiced. Okay. I think I vaguely remember. So that's Alpha now. That's the guy speaking right now. He's essentially... Well, he's not really the founder of the secret society, but he's a pretty big member. He was essentially like the leader for reforming it. A big proponent of that. He does a lot more of the diplomatic work, speaking of the city-states. Should we chance to meet Marsachamp again, remind me to thank him. Had he not warned us to expect the Nath, I doubt I would be standing here. Sure, you got me, buddy. Mid runes that I would tentatively describe as Ishgardian? The style, if not quite identical, betrays the definitive resemblance. A sail. That was the lady. You have a scholar's eye, Master Alphino. This structure is, in fact, over 1,000 years old. It is a remnant of the age when our ancestors and dragonkind lived together in peace. Oh, right. Your sail's, this whole thing going on with the dragon war, of the dragons fighting, I guess mortals or everyone else. I was gonna say humans, but that's not technically accurate. But she's basically sided against mortals with the dragon kind, and it's a. Sorry, I'm still trying to catch up with this. And Stinian is the guy in full armor. He's with the religious city-state. He's a dragoon, meaning he kills dragons. So kind of an awkward alliance we got going on here at the moment. You claim this as evidence of our harmonious past? I was taught that these buildings were constructed by heretics in honor of your Dravanian masters. This rebel inspires no such awe in me. Stubborn fool. How desperately you cling to the false teachings of your beloved Holy See. Well, this gives a good demonstration of the dynamic going on. Enough, both of you. You threaten the success of our mission with this incessant squabbling. Joya, pray reason with these two. Oh, I actually have a choice here. What would Joya say? Set aside your differences for now. There's more important things at work here. Quite, lest you forget, our goal is to prevent a war which will claim the lives of Dravanians and Ishgardians alike. If we were to accomplish this, you must learn to tolerate each other's presence. Trust in Joya's gift. In time, the secrets of history will be brought to light. Let that be enough, Estinian. You would have me keep my counsel until Joya's visions confirm the truth? Very well, but bait me not. Our meeting with Hrasvelgir will likely provide a catalyst Joya's gift requires, as it did mine. Let us press on. Easy quest. Oh, right, this is for casters. I can't use any of this. Might be fun to have, but I'm just gonna go for the money for now. I can get that gear later if I need it. And I can, but yeah. Oh, god damn it. Could we not have this? So this ability here, Interject, it interrupts the use of a target's action, so when it's doing something, supposedly I can just do that to interrupt it. But it's only for certain abilities. Like, obviously for that AoE one there, it didn't interrupt. I think it's for white abilities up here, but I don't know. I always have trouble with it, honestly. See, that one's yellow, so technically I couldn't use it. But it's supposed to interrupt those. Or, not that specifically, but abilities like that. Dragons in the sky and Nath upon the ground. One must needs sprout eyes in the back of one's head to survive this land. These Ant-men are bold to bring their war to the dragon's doorstep. Mayhap we should invite them to man the walls of Ishgard. Well, I can't shake my head very well. Oh, hey, pants I can actually wear. How does that look? Put on clothes, dude. I don't think there's actually much difference. So, that's because it's... Huh. I'm having a bit of trouble with this. Weird. Normally I would overlay it, but it's just not want to. Oh, it is. It's just the boots. Okay, the boots are covering that up. I'm still gonna wear it because it gives more stats, but I just wanted to see if it would look good. Sail wishes to survey the approach to the distant towers. Spy you the three great towers to the west. Ishgardians know them as Annex Shrine. The place serves as a roost for Hersfalgir's lesser kindred. To the west. Up there, I think. If we are to reach the peak of Salmal, then we must first beseech these dragons to open the way. But do not be disheartened. The one who leads them is a friend. Of rather more concern is the disposition of the Nath. Let us survey the approach to the towers and see if the path is clear. Her hair is shiny. Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, more abilities. 5, Provoke. Puts you at the top of the enmity list. Basically generates more aggro, in case you need it more. 6 here, Blood Weapon. Basically, my next 2 attacks will generate mana. So essentially, once you run out, you activate that to then start getting more mana back. It helps speed up some of the fights, considering you don't do too much damage. Especially for scenarios like this, in which you're solo. Theoretically, I could be traveling with a party, but I'm not social. I'm not gonna party with random people I don't know. Maybe with people I do know, but that's assuming they end up picking up this game, or coming back to it in some cases. Ooh. Something I do love about this game is its environment, especially the weather. Currently there's a storm going on. What? Well, good luck with that. Okay, looks like there is a path here, maybe? We can try it. I don't know if that's going to be quicker or not. I haven't explored this area. I was afraid of that. Or if it's more of a one-way. Yeah, I'm not getting up to that, unfortunately. Alright. Long way it is. Bad tree. Well, I guess I'll swing the last of my abilities. I basically call this my tank abilities. Grit, which allows me to tank. Arm's Length, for 6 seconds creates a barrier that nullifies knockback and draw-in effects. It's hard to time it, but if you manage to time it right, it's pretty helpful. It's mostly hard to time it because it's hard to tell when they're doing it. Reprisal reduces damage dealt by nearby enemies by 10%. Basically, it applies a debuff where the enemies are dealing 10% less damage to you, I believe. Last 10 seconds, 60 seconds to recast, but good tanking ability, obviously. Rampart reduces damage taken by 20%. That applies to you. It lasts for 10 seconds, but it lasts for 20 seconds, but it takes 90 seconds to recast. But typically, you kind of want to cycle those so you have at least some sort of tanking going on. I, of course, have this one, Shadow Wall, reduces damage taken by 30%, lasts for 15 seconds, but 120 second recast. I typically like to use that when my health starts getting worryingly low. So add a bit of oomph. And yeah, then Grit, that's pretty much all of my abilities there. Oh, I like to talk to these guys. Ah well. 'Tis as I feared. The road ahead is teeming with Nath soldiers. Marchamp did not exaggerate, then. These beastmen have grown brazen indeed if they would threaten the dragons so openly. Do they intend to insult the lair itself? I pray they do not. Mighty though my Dravinian friends are, they are yet vulnerable to the Nath's muskets. They have muskets? Huh. There is no route save the one before us. Should the beastmen offer battle, we have no choice but to accept. Yeah. Oh, looks like we're going to spawn some enemies while walking in there, but we have to. Oh no, I hope I don't get ambushed. Gasp! It's an ambush! Try to get a better look at these guys. Oh. Huh. Yeah, they might be ants. Oh, they do have guns. I think. Weird. Oh, yeah, that spear they're holding is actually shooting bullets at me. And they apparently have grenades. Huh. Sure, why not? And we have magic, so I guess that evens it out. Getting closer. Soon I'll be able to return and turn in the quests. Another ambush. Sometimes I don't like reaching over, so I just click it manually. Oh, I guess I could be sprinting. The scale of this structure is nothing short of astounding, but that is only to be expected, I suppose, given the size of its occupants. A greater dragon approaches. I take no pleasure in killing the Nath. 'Twas to avoid bloodshed that I agreed to join you on this journey. Well, it cannot be helped. We may proceed into the courtyard together, but leave the task of hailing its occupants to me. And keep your lance on your back, Dragoon. On my word to the Warrior of Light, I shall start no fight, only finish it. You truly are beyond salvation. Come then.
Vidofnir!
Oh, we have voice acting again. Let me re-enable text auto advance.
Ah, 'tis thee, little one. From above I did mistake thee for a Nath. 'Tis well I chanced to look again, or thou wouldst now be ash.
Not the voice I was expecting.
Dear Vidofnir, how I have missed you. Would that I had come sooner, and not out of dire necessity.
Thou art troubled. Speak that I might know thy plight.
And then she spoke.
Thou wouldst have father admonish his brood brother.
I would end this war without further bloodshed.
How am I to believe thee, little one, when thine own companion beareth Nidhogg's stolen eye?
Yeah. This thing in here.
Have care, dragon, or I shall gouge out one of yours.
Great
You
diplomacy.
forget yourself, sir. We are here on a mission of peace.
My sires will forbiddeth me from inviting discord to our home. 'Tis for this reason and no other that thou still drawest breath, knight.
Vidofnir, please. We must be allowed to convey our intentions to Hraesvelgar in person, with words of our own choosing. Grant us this favor, and open the way to Som Al.
Thou hast ever been welcome, little one. But I cannot grant thy wish. I am bound to remain here and protect my kin from the Nath's god.
Killing a primal?
The Nath have summoned a primal.
We killing a primal.
Pray excuse my forwardness, but if we were to eliminate the threat to your territory, would you consent to Lady Izel's request?
Ha! Dost thou imagine thyself equal to the task? To succeed where dragons have failed?
It's kind of the whole thing I do is kill primals.
'Tis beyond thee, mortal. But thou art welcome to try, nonetheless. Only know that idle promises shall avail thee naught.
It would seem we have no choice but to make good on Alphino's offer. Why must our every bid for peace breed yet more war?
Funny how that works. Ooh. Yay. Let me just equip that. Boop. Nice. I'll probably see it more when it's full once I get different boots. Once more our primal rears its head, and once more the task of slaying it falls to you. Yeah, funny how that works out. Would that I too possessed the echo. By the Fury, must we now defeat a primal that we might treat with a worm? I do begin to see how you gained your reputation for surmounting the insurmountable. Yeah, we've kind of killed 8 primals? 9? Maybe we're already in the double digits. It's a lot. Basically, there's 6 elements in the game. There's one for each element. But then I've also killed some that weren't really attuned to an element because they're kind of just like a beastman's god, essentially. Or, you know, the ultimate weapon, which kind of counts as a primal. There's also some other swirly stuff that he killed. I've killed a lot of primals, though. Alright, I forgot I can try these on even though I can't really wear them. Fun. So the Nath has summoned their god, and thus is the mystery of their newfound belligerence laid to rest. Yeah, it kind of explains everything. They summon their god, they're like, oh, we can kill you now. Then I come in and kill their god. Then they summon again, and then I kill it again. Are you not glad, Lady Iceheart? I thought you would applaud them for summoning a primal to further their own ends. After all, you did. Yeah. You know how I mentioned I killed one of the primals? Yeah, she summoned one as well. Hers was a bit weird because she kind of became the primal. But when we defeated it, she didn't die. She just reverted back. I don't know. I did not reach out to Saint Shiva to further my own ends. I desired her strength only to forge anew the peace between man and dragon. What a fool I am to speak of peace to you, a bloodthirsty savage who murders without thought or compunction. Enough, enough, I say. If the Nath have truly brought forth their deity from the Aether, we must face it together or watch our hopes fall apart. I'll now rest upon this primal's defeat. But ere we think of confronting it, we must first study its origins. What is the nature of this god? What manner of faith sustains its existence? My apologies. You are right, of course. Let's return to Tailfeather and consult with Marsachamp, for he knows more of the Nath and their culture than most. Does that matter? I guess it matters for locating them and then so I can swoop in and kill the primal. So they aren't just like announcing their presence. Oh boy, here I am. Aside from like one or two of them. Is that a dragon? Oh, that is a dragon. Neat. Well, let's go get this crystal so I can teleport here later. Aetherite. Attune. And now I can teleport to this whenever. Okay. So it looks like I did need to return back anyway, so it's a good thing I can go back and turn in some quests. Or advance one of them. Well, I need to use the bathroom, so I'll be in a bit. Bat. Ta-da! I should get like a pure B screen or something. Or make one, but I've been pretty lazy. Is everything still good here? Seems to be. I'm still tired. Why is my phone ringing? Who's calling me? That is not a number I recognize. You can leave a message, buddy. Where was I? I've been streaming for an hour already. Feels like I've hardly made progress. Then again, I've mostly just been standing around and explaining the story to people that probably already know the story. Say nothing, partner. Judging by your charming odor, you've already picked the mushrooms we need. Yep, here you are. Yes, these are the... My gods, the stench is even worse up close. Here, I'll put them in my bag before the whole camp retches. Alright, partner, it looks like I have the unenviable job of mixing these mushrooms with the Gyastral greens. Say, why don't you tell Lupard what a good team we make? What in the seven's hell did she have you do? She's gonna mask your scent with that? Can't say anything about how wise that plan is, but it sure is interesting. As I'm sure you've gathered from the tail and feathers, Kyanta's a Makoto. Is that how you pronounce it? Makote? Makote? Makoto. Makote. We'll go with Makote for now. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. They're cat people. Makote. And hunting's in their blood. Could be this plant might actually work. Anyway, it seems you two are getting along better than I could have hoped. Keep on with her, and I'll keep asking around for anyone lacking a partner. Neat. Oh, looks like there's another quest here. Oh, I might be able to get the boots. Okay, that doesn't actually look all that bad. Sure. Joya, the whole camp's in a hubbub. Seems a lone chocobo has been sighted wandering around not too far south, waiting for a pair of hunters to come and snatch it up. An easy target that will make the perfect first hunt for Kyanta. Now don't go thinking this bird will just walk right into your traps. Kyanta is still as green as they come. Go with her and land a hand before she misses out on her first catch. You heard, Lupard. What are you waiting for, partner? That chocobo is not going to catch itself. Ah, wait, but before I forget. Aha! This is the special mixture I made out of those mushrooms and Gyastral greens. Fragrant, aren't they? It smells so bad. Chocobo we're aiming to nab has been sighted to the south, which means plenty of hunters that think they're clever set up traps there. Lucky for us, though, I've thought one step ahead of that. See, since so many hunters are down south, their scent will be as plain to the bird as this mushrooms is to us. Now, if I was a chocobo, I'd steer well clear of that place. I might even be inclined to take a slightly more dangerous route so as not to run into any hunters. Now, if my instincts are right, that chocobo will go right through Bandersnatch territory. That's why we gotta set up our traps to the north. Brilliant idea, ain't it? What's that? Don't tell me you're scared of the big bad Bandersnatches. Just tread lightly and we'll both come back with a new chocobo. Here, let's divide up the greens and get to setting up our traps. Once everything's set up, let's meet at the hunter's camp to the north. Good luck, partner. Which is pretty cool. Sometimes I like to talk to the NPCs to see what their intake is. There's not a lot of people around, and that's kind of what I like. To be fair, it's probably because it's early morning in the middle of the week. Who's gonna be up? I say. So the chocobos made off with the bait without springing the traps. Looks like I've come up empty-handed again. I have expected that would happen. That's why I dug pits near the traps in hopes of catching one off guard. Sorry, I guess I forgot to mention that part. Looks like both you and the chocobos managed to get past them on your own, though. Truth be told, this isn't the first time I've been outwitted by a chocobo. I've got more trap designs in the works, and I plan to test them out soon. Stop by again if you feel like joining in. What you selling? Like, you can buy armor and equipment, but you don't really want to, because the stuff you get from the quest rewards is a lot better. I guess maybe if you wanted for looks. I don't know. So they all got issues, but none of them thought to ask me for help. You think I'll bite off their heads or something? At any rate, I'd best prepare to round up the birds from each camp. Thanks again for your help, friend. Say, since you've already struck up an acquaintance with my people and all, maybe you'll be willing to lend them a hand. Seems they talk to you of their troubles readily enough. Oh, cutscene. Is it voiced? Nope. Oh ho! Back already, are we? I met the Nath, did ya? And what is it you'd like to... Well, we'd kind of like to know more about them so we can go kill their god. Summon a primal, you say? 7 hells. Well, I don't know Burgo all about Nath religion, if I'm honest. Beyond their trading habits, there never seemed much point in asking. But it shouldn't be that hard to find out. From time to time, we barter with a small hive to the north and west of here. Outcasts from the main tribe, from what I understand. I reckon they'd be willing to tell you a bit about themselves, if you give them the right incentives. You know, see, I was going to suggest violence, but there might be a more peaceful way, and that's probably the better solution. Violence is fun. Then again, this is Joya we're speaking about. I have to get into his mindset. Yeah, he'd probably want to resolve this peacefully. Who am I really? Am I Dale or am I Joya? Both. That sounds promising. And what exactly would a Nath consider to be the right incentives? Oh, nothing your average hunter couldn't scrounge up in a day or two. But seeing as you're in a hurry, you might want to divide the chores amongst yourselves. You'll want a good-sized jar of land-trapped nectar. I can see that nectar's pretty good. A basket of celumet fruit, and, always an ass favorite, a generous portion of young Nandka flesh. That didn't really improve the sentence. I shall gather the fruit, leaping to the lower branches of these forest giants to present little challenge to me. Good for you, bud. Then I shall collect the nectar, with Master Alphina's arcane assistance. And that leaves you to bring home the meat. You'll need to carve it from the smaller nakas that live in the forest. 3 big hunks should be enough, I reckon. Once you've got everything together, you'll need to set it down at what we call the trading post. Here, I'll mark the spot on your map for you. You've been most kind, Master Marcachamp. Well then, let us attend to our respective tasks and reconvene at the trading post. I need hardly add that the last one there is a rotten Nandka egg. This is the ones with the easy tasks. Yes, leave the adventurer to do the killing monsters part. Every time. But I suppose that's the task that fits me best. So, nothing more to it. heading now? So that's where I get the meat, but that's where I get that quest. But I can't even go over there without going over here. So if I hit up that way, that'll be the best bet. Oh, these are other quests. I only need to do these two. But I may as well pick these up anyways. To be honest, I like the amount of world building they give. Because I'm kind of good on XP for a bit. And also I like just clearing quests. I do wish I could fly though. Then again, if I do enough of these quests, I could. So, that's incentive. Alright, what you got for me? Oh, gloves. Sure, I guess. The bugs I mentioned earlier? God's damn feather fleas. They got suckers that let yum long and love the taste of chocobo blood. Been wondering what to do about them. Managed to drive them away whenever they come out near the birds, but there doesn't seem to be an end to the buggers. I would go into the forest and squash them myself, but that'd leave the chocobos defenseless. Say, why don't you kill a few of them in my stead? You could put down about 4 or so, you'd have my thanks. But I don't like bugs. Then again, bugs in this game don't really bother me much. You just swat them and they're dead. Am I supposed to be Joya? Oh, just right here. Okay. Sorry, I like to do a little roleplay, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to get in the mindset of Joya at the moment when streaming. I'm sure I'll warm up to it. Also mainly because I don't have anyone to bounce off of. Kind of hard to carry things by yourself when you don't talk. Yeah, just a simple way of killing her. It sucks because I don't do a whole lot of damage. Yeah, pretty much just cycle through, occasionally do your big special abilities, because it does a bit more damage in between. Oh, cool. Kind of chain those. Yeah, we'll place down one of those just for a bit more damage. We need it. Kind of miss being upper level and just killing things instantly. But I also miss being a DPS and doing damage. Ah, well. On to the next. Honestly, I don't think you need to kill them specifically in this area, you just need to kill them in general. But typically it's better to just head to the area because that's where they'll be. Oh, yeah, I can just cycle that one in for more damage. Cool. Begone, bug. Oh, didn't need to take on both of them. Yeah, so you get into like a nice little rhythm, kind of relaxing. I don't really have to worry about losing health in these fights. Mostly like in the actual dungeons or against bosses. What? Free company invite. What? Sorry, don't like people. You know how it is. I wonder if there's something... Switching over to battle chat just to... Because other people play this game, obviously, and I don't want to infringe on their privacy a bit. Although it is still, like, an online game, so there's not really a privacy. Still, I'd rather avoid displaying their stuff when possible. I take it the fleas went down easy? Ah, you're quite a bug killer. Yeah. Not by choice, but... needs to do what I need to do to be strong. Because unfortunately no one else is killing them for me. Chocobos fly into a flurry at the very sight of those blasted bugs. Ugh. And it takes the better part of the day to calm them down. Thanks to you, we'll be able to sleep peacefully for a while. Yeah, I know that feeling. Weird gloves, but sure. Onwards! I wonder if there's gonna be a chance for me to ever get a more customizable Chocobo. Don't get me wrong, Dawnbreak's cool and all, but he comes as default yellow. Cool to have him. Well, I guess yellow still fits. I probably wouldn't change the color all that much. Yellow really works for Joya here. Heck, the ninja gear. Yeah, his ninja gear, by the time I finished that out, I essentially got him a special pair that really made him look like a ninja. And I dyed that one yellow. Gloves I can't wear. By the 12, the Chocobo just won't shut up. She's got no hurts as far as I can see, and a sick bird would make as much of a fuss. After that words, which leaves just one possibility. I have a mind to go and verify my suspicion, but I'm not overly keen on leaving this bird while it's wailing away like this. Could attract predators. Would you mind going? Here, lend me your map. I'll mark the place we caught this bird. Chances are there's a nest nearby. If you find it, note what's inside and come back to tell me. I might have family. Oof. Mouth sore from all this talking. Don't talk. I'm not a talker. But I guess I have to learn to be. This would be a lot easier if I wasn't being attacked. There are eggs in the nest. Well, what do you know? Yeah, I'm starting to wear down here. Yeah, I keep saying it, but even though it's the morning, I've been up for a while. So, and I normally go to bed at this time. Not great for a plant like me, but, well, sun's overrated anyways. Just as I thought, this one's about to be a mother. There's no helping it then. Spina as a bird as she is, she's got to go back to her nest. It's the rules of ours, you see. Can't catch a chocobo when what's brooding. Don't matter that it's the finest specimen you've ever seen or that you've been having a bad spell. Nay, whatever the circumstance, we've got to see beyond the present, elsewise we hunters won't have much of a future. Yeah, if you kind of catch all the mothers, eventually the population's just going to decline because they're not birthing more. Although I guess you could breed them in captivity. But they don't really seem the type. Sorry, I don't really know where to look when I'm speaking. I guess I should be looking directly towards you guys, but I kind of veer off to the... well, my right. Just because that's where the stream is, and I want to make sure everything's running there fine. But also, I kind of just look to myself to speak. You know, it's like I'm talking to someone, even though that someone's myself. I guess theoretically, if you think about it, if no one watches the stream, then I am just talking to myself. Which, I mean, no one is watching the stream, so I am just talking to myself. But people might come back and watch the VOD later. That is always a possibility. It's why I've not shut up. And also, it's good practice when there is people. Alright, I have to go all the way around for this one. Blah. Still, this is a pretty cool environment. I don't know what you would describe it as, though. A forest, maybe? Not a forest in the traditional sense, but there's a lot of trees all over the place. Oh, those are Bandersnatches. Yeah, Joya's not too concerned about those. He deals with primals regularly. It's kind of hard to think as Joya when I'm busy thinking about the stream. Kind of a weird thing to say, but just I like to get into the mindset of my characters. Especially when I'm not playing myself. God damn it, that's the third time this week. Blasted Bandersnatches keep snapping up the chocobos afore we collect them from the traps. The blessed beast got a taste of chocobo meat, and now they won't stay away. I have seen 3 prowling nearby not a bell ago, waiting for an easy meal. If you were to get rid of them, might it be as I'll make it worth your while. Yeah, sure. Bandersnatch. Bandersnatches be snapping me banders. I'm trying to say something. I don't know what phrase I was trying to go for there. Sure are snapping them banders. Tell you what. Not much to really talk about, I guess. And I'm tired. I've gone all on and on about mechanics and story and stuff. Granted, not very well regarding the story at least, but that's mainly because it's been forever since I played. used to playing as a ninja where you just run around the enemy and do more damage from behind. And their banders have been snatched. Oh yeah, I have a whole inventory here. I have a whole bunch more junk stored away, but I have some junk on me, it looks like. Mostly crafting materials. Not that I've really made much progress in crafting. Some. Crafting is fun in this game. It's just, you know, kind of needed to do the story. Still the beasts? Wonderful. That chocobos won't become a bandersnatch fodder no more. To be fair, though, the birds are perfectly capable of fending for themselves. Only fall prey to bandersnatches because they were trapped. For that, I feel bloody awful. Thanks to you, the noble creatures won't meet such an unfit end no more. Yeah, until more come along and then you have the same problem. This is only a temporary solution, you know. And then again, I guess temporary solutions make permanent solutions. Neat. Oh, I am hungry. I forgot to eat. Huh. I'm gonna keep going for a bit. I haven't been streaming much, and for words, yeah, I kind of skipped the last stream, and it's good to stream for at least 2 hours, I find. But who knows how long until my tired delusions are gonna kick in. Who knows? That might make things more interesting, but it's not for not for me. Can't speak. I like to speak somewhat properly. I want hunger. Hunger is eventually going to kick in to where I have to go eat. I mean, I can probably hold off another hour. Oh hey, there's just a bear here. Huh. What are you wearing? Huh. That looks surprisingly comfortable. What took you so long? I finished setting up my trap bells ago. So the actual greens in their place? Yeah, sorry, I kinda got sidetracked dealing with the other hunters. You know how it is. I knew I could count on my partner. I didn't taste any because I put a little something extra in my Yashal greens. Sleeping powder. Once that chocobo falls to my trap, it'll fall into a deep sleep. Genius. Well, I kind of didn't eat them because of the awful smelling mushrooms you smothered them in. Did you hear that? Was that a chocobo cry? It was over in the direction of your trap. Let's go, partner. You got it, partner. Go see what we caught. Hopefully a chocobo. I do miss having Ninja and having him roll every time I jumped off something high. Also just the running animation. Hey, we got a chocobo! Looks a bit young. Can you believe it? The genuine, bona fide, drowsified chocobo. See? Hunting's easy. My plan worked perfectly. I'll take the chocobo back to Tailfeather. Partner, could you go and tell Leopard that I'm a real hunter now? Honestly, you've had more success than many of these other hunters, as far as I could tell. Honestly, you did all the work. I just gathered the mushrooms and laid the final trap. Look at that chocobo. So peaceful sleeping. No, we're gonna kidnap him and sell it for profit. Oh well. Go down the river here. Ooh, methinks yes. As much as I like to know where I'm going, I do like to take in the environment. I'm supposed to slay up there. Oh, there's more down here. We'll just go for those. Those will be closer. Alright, let's see if we can gather them all up. Do the typical dungeon tank stuff. Bring them all together. And then you just... Might have bitten off more than I can chew here. Mainly because even though I'm doing tank stuff, I don't have any team members to back things up. But we are still a tank. We can still reduce the damage it. I do miss the mouse I had. It had buttons on the side, which I could press the buttons on here. I didn't use it very much, but it was still nice to have. Unfortunately, got too much yuck and grime on it. There we are. Oh, looks like we gotta go further back up. It's peaceful and relaxing. Time really flies by. Of course, I say that, but I keep checking the time. Well, looks like I'm last again. When I set out to master the Dragoon's jump, 'twas not to strike fear into the hearts of high-hanging fruit. Then maybe you should have accepted the job to kill monsters. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Master Alphino possesses a rare talent for the arcane arts. Should he continue to apply himself to their study, he will become a formidable mage in time. I was able to gather a goodly amount of nectar from the land traps, though I would not have known how to harvest it without your sales' help. Do you have the non-com meat? Yep, all three. Splendid. I shall put this with Estinian's fruits and assemble a suitably generous-looking hamper for the nap. Fucking ants. What? Yeti ring? Huh. I'm sure I can figure out which one I'm supposed to have later. Well, everything appears to be in order. Assuming no one has any objections to my choice of presentation, I shall place our offerings at the trading post as instructed. Were I of the Nath, I think I would be suitably impressed. Well, how long must we wait? Should we have sounded a signal or some such? Well, ordinarily you would try to get their attention or some such, or... Calm yourself. Master Alphino, our offering has not gone unnoticed. Or, that works too. Ugh. Click, click. Long has it been since hunters last came to trade, bearing gifts that filled the air with such delightful scents. Land-trapped nectar, Salimetry fruit, and Nanka flesh. What delectable foods you have brought for us. Our meager existence is much enriched by your bounty. Click, click. Come, hunters. Come to our hive if you would trade. Cramped and stifling our homes are, but the rancid incense keeps the dragon at bay. The dragons at bay. Oh, that's not a helmet, that's their... Ugh. Cramped. Stifling. And horribly smelly. But better to live in stench than be cracked and crunched by dragon jaws, yes? Come, come, it is not far. That's doing a number on my voice. On my throat. Words. I need water for this plant. Can those surely be Nath? Were it not for their appearance, I would think them wholly unrelated to the savage creatures that attacked us on the road. But they... Oh, you don't mean appearance-wise, sorry. Strangely friendly, are they not? Or mayhap just strange? These Naths seem harmless enough, almost jovial even. I'd prefer, however, that we conclude our business with them as soon as possible. Yeah, I kind of rather not deal with bugs for very long myself. Not that these ones are too bad to deal with, I'm kind of hamming that up a bit. To be honest, bug people are a lot better than bugs. What the hell is going on here? Some sort of battle's taking place down there. Click, click, your presence has been announced to the storyteller. You must speak to our chosen leader in words, for we are Vath. We are the non-mind. Click, click. Welcome to our hive, hunters. You brought delicacies much sought after by our people. We are much pleased. What would you have in return? Honored elder, pray allow me to begin by thanking you for welcoming us into your home and for accepting our humble offerings. My companions and I are come in search of knowledge, specifically knowledge of your people's god. Knowledge alone? What strange hunters you are! But it is words you desire, then words you shall have. We are the Vath, the non-mind, and to speak is our fate. You hear the tale of the Nath's god, of the god, the one mind summoned into our midst. The one mind. These are the Nath who reside in the main colony. Yes, they are one, connected. But let us begin the story at its beginning. Sure, we could start in the middle, like I did. Some moons ago, a single dragon flew in from the east, bleeding and weak. It fell from the sky and into the hive, where it was swarmed by my brethren, and with spear and spell and musket, the dragon was slain. 'Twas likely one that had fled battle with my kinsmen. I should commend you for finishing the job. Dragons are fierce and terrible adversaries. The one mind would always cower when the winged shadows passed over the ground, but no longer. They had learned that a battle-weary Dravinian was easy prey. Thus did the one mind decide to heed the words of the black-robed men. Ah, shit. Here we go again. The one mind would call forth our god and unleash his blades upon the dragons. Dravinian lands would become Nath lands, and even ever larger were to grow our domain. But our god ever hungers. The price he demands in crystals far exceeds the rewards for this war. We of the Vath despise and revile his insatiable existence. Me too. Shit, what do I want here? Not spells. Not piety. Vitality. Not dexterity, unfortunately. If I was a ninja, then yes. Strength. What's the difference? Oh, critical hit versus skill speed. I think I want skill speed, so fending. Assuming it's even better than what I have. I didn't even check that. Nope. I got some really good stuff for ninja gear. Gives me boosts a ton of my dexterity. A lot of the equipment I got hasn't really gotten better, even though this is really better suited for ninjas. Oh god, more quests. Oh, fuck. Okay. Let's see if we can finish this stuff up. That we hear not each other's thoughts, generous hunter. Oh, it's Nath. I'm not gonna do the voice. You somehow know that we need help. Our weapon stocks are wanting. We need more. I would make a request of you. Please bring us muskets with which to defend ourselves. You can take them from the Nath nearby. 2 would be sufficient. Neat. I need more water. Too much talking. Greetings, hunter. Does the hunt go well? There is much delicious meat nearby. There's much delicious fruit nearby. We really want for food. I should do a better job of reading these, but I'm so tired of reading. What we want for is shelter. Building materials are one thing we cannot hunt. We have no materials. We cannot repair our homes. We cannot build new structures. Please fetch us some Dravinian clay. We need Dravinian clay to repair our homes. There is much Dravinian clay at the Nath Hive. Fetch some there. 2 boxes worth will be enough. Well, looks like I know where we're going next. Fruit. Delicious fruit. The mere thought of it makes our mandibles itch. Click, click. Do you know the high ground near Mayor's Oath? A great tree grows there. Its fruit is delicious. The ripest fruit falls to the ground, ready to be eaten. Click, click. Please fetch us 3 of these fruits. Why do you love that fruit so much? Generous hunter, we would like to ask something of you. It is not difficult work. We need Nanka eggs. 5 delicious Nanka eggs. Click, click. Slay a Ninki and Nanka. Slay a Ninki Nanka and harvest its delicious eggs for us. We wonder, will you never tire of Nanka eggs? Simply wrote. How do we pronounce that? I call upon the power of a primal for the greater good, conscious all the while that I do so at grave cost to the land. I reason that it is a necessary evil, and willingly shoulder the burden of my sin. In suggesting that such crimes can be justified, you may argue that I presume too much, but you must surely see that I am aware of the magnitude of my transgressions. Not so the Nath. They summon their deity for no greater purpose than to expand their dominion. To a scion of the 7th dawn, one sworn to eliminate the primal threat, the distinction you draw seems questionable at best. But the fact remains that my own grandfather risked unleashing the power of the 12 in an attempt to prevent the calamity. Thus, while I may not condone your actions, I, at least, understand them. Not so the Nanth, as you so rightly put it. If they truly seek naught but territorial gain, I can only conclude that they are ignorant of the ruinous consequences of their god's insatiable appetite. The longer this primal is suffered to exist, the greater the suffering it will cause. It must be destroyed. How lightly you propose the destruction of this god, Master Alphino, a being of whom we know not. Has it occurred to you that you may be sending the Warrior of Light to his death? Like, that hasn't happened the previous times? There's been a few that we knew little about, I just kind of went up against. No, you have the right of it, Sidian. It would seem it is I who am guilty of presuming too much. Pray forgive me, Joya. No, it's fine. It's literally what I do for you guys. I go in and kill the primals for you. Oh. Huh. I'm surprised I'm getting, like, dialogue choices here. Not that I don't think they really matter too much here, but Joya is definitely does not fear his duty. He knows what he's signed up for by this point. Wait, Joya need not face this foe alone. Like him, I am blessed with the Echo's protection and may do battle without fear of primal influence. Let me bear this burden. Whoa there. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess it wouldn't hurt. Ha! Do you truly imagine yourself a second Warrior of Light? Remind me, how many primals have you faced, my lady? Not that it matters. We know not where this god resides or how to challenge it. Unless you mean to pray until it appears? Insidian makes a valid point. Let us speak with the Vath and learn how to best secure an audience with their deity. In this, at least, I may be of assistance. The young lord certainly appears eager to prove his worth. Well, he is a diplomat, so that is what he does best, and he's feeling particularly useless, it seems. Oh boy. No. Ugh. I am reaching my wit's end of staying awake, I'll be honest. We are Vath. We are the non-mind. We do not hear the one mind's thoughts. We cannot predict their will. So they're a hive mind, it seems. Click, click. Put this idea from your minds, generous hunters. If you meet with our god, then he will have your souls. Sure, you're not so generous as that. Well, about that, you kind of can't take mine. Click, click. You wish to meet our god. Offer yourself as a sacrifice, and you will soon be brought before him. We'd mourn the loss of such generous hunters, however. Well, not if I kill him. You guys don't seem too non-fussed about that happening, though, so... yeah. You're generous hunters, yes? Many gifts you have brought, but not enough for all Vath to enjoy. Maybe you could bring us just one more? We're very fond of Nanka flesh. Yes, the meat of a young Nanka would make a fine repast. Or Nanka, it seems. By the Fury, I would swear these beastmen know less about their god than I do. Yeah, it seems more like, oh, you can summon a god and get more territory? Cool, let's do that. And less about what god they actually worship, which is kind of funny, because to summon a primal, it requires belief in it. But from the sounds of it, what they believe in isn't really a primal so much as territory expansion. The Vath greet mine every question with cryptic utterances. I fear I am no closer to understanding the tenets of their faith. There must be some way of infiltrating the main colony. Oh, I'll rush back here. And away we go! How are you in that wily Makote? Makote? Makoto? How are you in that wily Makote ferry? Well, you know, we ended up catching the chocobo and... You don't say! Chianti actually bagged a bird! Yeah, it was actually super easy, honestly. I ain't never seen a hunter get a chocobo on their first outing. Guess what they say about Makote is true. Can't leave you, the unsung hero, without his bit of praise either. Things keep going this way. If things keep going this well, we may not even need to find a partner. Oh, I want to get my boots. Oh, I can finally accept the next class quest, which gives me class features and also advances the class story. Where is that? That is back in Foundation. Back in Ishgard. Yeah, I can wait a little longer. Oh, he found a partner, finally. Well, good for her. Doesn't seem like she really needs it. What if Chianti's catch has been spreading around Tailfeather? Some say it's beginner's luck, but if you've expressed their interest in joining with her to see a Makote hunt for themselves, I've taken the liberty of finding one I think it might be a good match. He's a fresh arrived hunter that goes by the name of Gissel. I'm thinking we should have a little trial hunt to see if he and our budding prodigy get along. Of course, I wouldn't be fool enough to let two greenhorns go off on a hunt unsupervised. That's why I need you to go look after him. How about it? Are you keen to go out hunting with her again? Yeah, pretty cool. With any luck, she'll be off having adventures on her own in no time at all. Any road I seen her leave the encampment just a couple of bells ago, off to the southeast. If you can find her, tell her to return to camp so we can get the introduction started. I guess that's one way to do it. Instead of giving her an experienced hunter to partner with, you just give her another newbie, because she's experienced enough on her own. God, that must suck. Ah, well. As long as she's fine with it. Huh. Not a bad outfit. I wonder what the helmet's supposed to look like. Oh, this probably isn't even... I want to say there's supposed to be... I want to say this helmet's not from this set. But then again, I can't even wear it to see, so it's not like it matters. Okay. Well, as fun as it was to stream and play Final Fantasy XIV again, I'm pretty tired. I do want to stay up a bit, but I don't want to affect the quality of the stream too much with me just making random noises in order to fill the silence. I already struggle enough to fill the silence on my own, sane as is. So I probably will just be ending it here. Nice short stream, you know. See if I can expand to streaming 3 times a week instead of 2 times. Let's say a week, it's every other week. But yeah, we'll go ahead and end things here. Hopefully it was enjoyable to watch at least. Even if... well, I didn't do too much story-wise, but it was enough to catch me up on the general gist of what's going on. Of course, me explaining a lot of the subtext might be a bit more difficult, but yeah. What's a good word of advice to leave things off on? There's some good earlier ones that I kind of forgot. Honestly, I'm going to spend more time thinking of a good advice to say rather than anything else at all. Wow, what a way to end the stream. Just go into big introductions. Let me think of something cool to say. Silence. Well, I guess that reminds me of a good piece of advice. Sometimes it's better to say nothing at all and let people think you're a fool than to open your mouth and change all doubt. And with that, I'll see you, well, tomorrow if you're catching this live. But, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.